Hello there, this is DJ Gallup of Courageous Consciousness, and I am here to talk to you today about how to use positive I am affirmations in your life to help your spiritual development on one hand, and also how to use them to further your law of attraction manifesting process. And you've probably heard of affirmations before. I mean, that's a pretty common thing. You've probably heard how some people do them in the mirror. I know there used to be like an SNL skit about it way back in the 90s where I think it was something Smiley, right? And he would look in the mirror and he would say, I'm happy and I'm beautiful, and I can't remember exactly what he said. But what I'll tell you is affirmations are a great way of getting yourself unstuck from where you're feeling right now. And I've been kind of using this a little bit lately because I've been reading quite a lot of Wayne Dyer. And Wayne Dyer had recommended that when you're doing these affirmations, a really powerful way to do them is to do them as I am statements. And the concept behind that is that, of course, we are one with God. We have a spark of God within each and every one of us. And so by using I am in your affirmations, then you could actually kind of get that sensation that you are one with God. And to me, that was extremely powerful and extremely moving. So, although there are, like I said, a million different ways of doing affirmations, I wanted to share with you guys how I do it. And it's a method that works really well for me. And of course, if you feel like you want to try it, then you could try it for yourself, and maybe you might make some tweaks on the method I use, or heck, you might do it a completely different way entirely. So one thing I am really drawn to, just in general, is I'm a very visual person. I tend to learn things really visually. I tend to take in things very visually. And so when I'm doing my I am affirmations, one of the first things I do is I take a really large card sheet of paper and I kind of almost make a vision board, if you will, of my I am affirmations. And then once I've completed it and it's the way I like it, then I'll just kind of post it up somewhere in my house. Maybe I'll, tape it up to the wall, or, I'll keep it up on the fridge, or, I'll just put it somewhere where I'm going to come across it many times throughout the day. And my thought behind that is that the more I see it, even if I'm not doing an active affirmation at that time, it just keeps everything really fresh in my mind. And then what I also do with my I am affirmation card is I will usually sit down sometime early in the morning, usually right around when I get up out of bed, and I will actually do an affirmation meditation. And I've done a lot of different styles of morning meditation over the years, but this one I have found recently has really helped improve my mood. It's really helped increase my productivity, and genuinely, it's just made me feel better about being me. And isn't that kind of what we're all after here? So anyway, I'm just going to pull my card around here so you all can see it. So this is my I am affirmation card here. And as you can see here on my left side, I have a whole bunch of I ams. And this is a mix of, things that I want to be in terms of my inner being, in terms of my personality. But it's also things that I want to manifest within myself. And then over here on the right-hand side of my sheet, I just kind of created a nice little reminder. And so I'm just going to go over here what my sheet says. So when I'm doing my morning affirmation meditation, what I like to do is I like to start with both hands right here on my heart center, on my heart chakra. And you can choose to do this, once again, however you like, and that's totally fine. But the reason I do this is because I feel that by putting my hands on my heart while I'm going through my affirmations, I feel as though I am really taking it to heart, and I feel it a little bit more deeply and a little bit more completely, and it really just helps me feel the self-love that I'm trying to bring to myself. So, without further ado here, I'm going to get to what are the things on my page. So, the very first thing on my card is I am forgiveness. I am forgiveness. And usually I'll recite a couple of times each one of my affirmations out loud. And then I'll just maybe take a minute, not even sometimes, maybe only 30 seconds. And I'll just kind of focus on my reason for wanting to be that. So for forgiveness, that's both forgiveness of me and forgiveness of others. And in my experience, I think a lot of people have trouble forgiving themselves for things that they've done in the past or things that they're going through in the present. And so I like to start by thinking of forgiving myself for all the crap I've done to people over the years. And there's been a lot, unfortunately. But then I also like to remember that forgiveness is really powerful for others. So if anyone has recently hurt me or bothered me in any way, I just like to take that moment to forgive them. So I am forgiveness. Good. My second one is I am worthy. And I think this is another big one. My feeling is that a lot of the struggles that people have in their lives, and certainly people I know in my life, is because they just feel that they are not worthy of something better than what they have. And I am just here to remind you guys, you are worthy. I am worthy, and you are worthy of whatever you want, of whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to have, whatever sort of life, whatever sorts of experiences you want to have in your life. You are worthy. So I like to take a moment and just remember and remind myself that I am worthy. My third one is I am successful. This happens to me quite a bit. As I've shared in past videos, I am a recently self-employed massage therapist, reflexologist, healing touch practitioner, Reiki master. I do all of these things. And sometimes, I'll have weeks where I'm packed and I'm busy and I just have one client after another. And then some weeks I have very, very slow weeks, or I'll have a week where I'm packed full of people and half of them will cancel. And that will start getting me down. It starts making me feel like people aren't valuing my time or that I'm not successful. And I just like to remind myself, I am successful. I am self-employed. I'm making enough money to live. I certainly will be increasing my client load in the near future. I am successful. I am successful right now. Fourth one is I am a visionary. And a few people have actually told me this. I go to an intuition circle here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and at the last one I went to, I was asking for some insight on a few different things in my life. And one of the people said to me that they thought that I was a visionary. And I had never really put that concept in my head before. I mean, of course I know lots of cool stuff, and I certainly know a lot of awesome techniques and, how to make people feel better about themselves. But I had never considered myself a visionary. And when I was told that, I said, you know what? You're right. I am a freaking visionary. So I am going to accept that, and I'm going to put that into my I am affirmations. Going down the list. This one is probably a good one. I am 190 pounds. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Obviously, I know that right now, I am not 190 pounds. I'm not going to say what I am, but it's more than 200. Let's just put it that way. And so one thing with law of attraction is that you need to believe it before you see it. You need to believe that you're going to be that smaller size. And for me, it's not about looks. I mean, frankly, I'm perfectly happy looking the way I look right now. But for me, that 190 pounds being a smaller size is more a result of, first of all, just not wanting to have health problems. My parents, they're getting older. Both of them have had severe knee problems. And when I'm their age, I just don't want to have those problems. And the other big reason I want to be a smaller sized person is because my big hobby, if you've been watching my channel a little while, you probably know, is I love to ride roller coasters. It's been my passion since I was about 10 years old. I've been on more than 400 different ones. And I have to admit, there are times I go on some rides and I've had to do the walk of shame where the restraint will not close. Usually not so much because of my belly, but because my hind end is pretty big and my legs are pretty big. So I'd like to be a smaller person so that I can keep doing my hobby that I love to do. So I am 190 pounds. It's good. Moving down, I am a divine, infinite creator. I think that's always just a really great reminder. I am an infinite, divine creator. I can bring into my vortex, bring into my being anything that I desire, as long as I put my mind to it. My next one is I am powerful. Great reminder. I am powerful. I have power. I am not powerless. I am not without means. I am powerful. My next one, I manifest my desires. I manifest my desires. It's just a great reminder that my desires, as long as I keep them in my mind and as long as I have the positive expectation that they are going to happen for me, I will manifest my desires. So that's my next affirmation. My next one down is I am fully mobile in my life. Fully mobile, meaning that I can pick up and go anywhere in my life. And this one is really important for me right now, particularly. And the reason for that is that my husband, Rashawn, he works, when he's here, he's a nurse practitioner, and he works for this company where he travels around and he does home visits for Medicare and Medicaid patients. And when he's not here with me in America, like right now, he's off in Africa working with Doctors Without Borders. And so he has this very kind of, I don't know if you would call it a transient lifestyle, but, he definitely moves around a lot with his work. And he loves this work. And I think eventually also at some point, he's been doing Doctors Without Borders for, I think it's 9 years now. I think eventually he'll be offered a permanent job with them, and that may be something that takes us back to New York. It may take us to Europe or Africa or wherever he ends up getting a job. And so I want to be able to manifest work for myself that I can do anywhere in the world, so that if I want to sell this house, real quick and move off somewhere, I can do that. And so for me, I am fully mobile in my life. I love it. My next one is I am unconditional love. I don't think I need to say too much about this, but that's certainly a desire in my life, is that I want to be less judgmental, and I want to be more loving, and I want to be unconditionally loving, so that every person I come across in my life, rather than feeling fear or anger or any other negative feelings toward them, I want to be able to approach everyone in my experience as unconditional love. And that also applies to me as well. I want to be able to love myself unconditionally. The next one down is kind of related to I am successful. The next one is I am prosperous. And it's slightly different because, success and being prosperous are they're interrelated. But to me, prosperous has more to do with money. It has more to do with having a good bank account and a lot of income coming in. So that's something else I want to manifest for myself. I want to feel prosperous. So that's an affirmation for me. My next one down is I am a confident speaker. And in this case, I'm really thinking more about public speaking. Although I have 1,000,001 strengths, one of my weaknesses is I get terribly, terribly nervous public speaking. I think a lot of you probably feel the same. I'm quite amazed, like when I go and watch TED Talks and things like that, I'm so amazed to see these people who get up onto stage and they're so natural and, they're not nervous and they don't stutter and all these things. And I know when I get up onto stage or when I get in front of people, a lot of times I feel nervous. I start feeling actually kind of this pressure around my eyes and, it's just not a pleasant sensation. I've had some negative experiences public speaking in the past, and so I want to be able to be a confident speaker so that eventually I can take some of my messages and some of my techniques for spiritual development and share them with a wider audience. So right now, I'm just including this into my affirmations. I am a confident speaker. The next one, very closely related, I am confident. Just in general, I am confident. I think we all have moments where, we probably feel a little bit more confident in some moments of our life, and we have other moments where we're feeling a little bit less confident, and that's totally fine. But I want to work on being more confident in who I am at all times. So I am confident. My next one is I pay attention only to what I want and what I desire. And I think this is a really powerful one for those of you who do law of attraction. I think it's so natural, when you see something is not going the way you want it to in your life, or when things are not coming to you easily, it's very natural and very simple to just say, oh, look at all the things that are wrong. This is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And you complain, and you're drawing attention to those things that you don't want in your life. So my goal with this one is just a daily, constant reminder, affirmation that I want to pay attention to only the things that I want. I only want to focus on my desires and what I need and what I like. And certainly that will help bring more things that I want to me, or at least according to law of attraction. And the next one, related once again to something earlier, I am non-judgmental. I just want to work on being less judgmental. Simple as that. If you're being judgmental of people, then you're not loving them unconditionally. I'm sorry, you're not. You can't be judgmental and love unconditionally at the same time. You just have to accept people for who they are and where they are right now. And along with that, I think a very natural thing, going back to the last topic, is, when someone in your life is not doing something how you want them to do it or the way you like for them to do it, it's natural to point out what's wrong. And when you're doing that, you're coming to it from a place of judgment, and it's not helping you in any way, shape, or form. Going down the list, I am a spiritual being, and that's related to my next one and my last one, which is I am one with God. I think it's just a good reminder that you have the spark of the divinity of God within you, and if you're willing to accept that, you are going to feel so much more powerful. You are going to feel so much more comfortable in your own skin, and you're just going to be okay with who you are and where you are right now. And then I mentioned over on the right-hand side of my page, I just kind of wrote a few sentences, and I'll read them off. I'm going to be looking in this direction so I can read them here. So this one's just a good reminder, and I just like to read this to myself, at the end. Everything I want comes to me easily. Law of attraction is fun. Everything I want to manifest is at my fingertips. What a great reminder. Everything I want to manifest is at my fingertips. I am perfectly happy in this moment. That's a good reminder. I am perfectly happy in this moment. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you just take a moment and you sit down and you could take a minute to disconnect, remind yourself that no matter what conditions are going on around you at the moment, I am okay at this moment. I am happy in this moment. That's good. I am surrounded by loving friends. I am the leading edge of creation. I spend my money on experiences that I want. That is a good reminder. I sometimes, especially if it's a slow week, I'll find myself kind of, not counting pennies. I'm not, that far along. But, certainly I'll, be keeping a really close eye on my bank account, or I'll get invited to, go to dinner with someone, and I'll kind of think in my head, well, I'd like to, it would be fun, but, that's going to be $30, $40, $50, and, that's money I don't need to spend. But I think a good reminder is, it's okay to spend money on experiences that you want to have. That's part of law of attraction. Spend money on experiences you want to have, and just trust that the money will be there for you, which is actually the next one. The money will always be there for me. I follow my bliss. I am unlimited. I like that next one. I am unlimited. I want to, I can be what I choose to be. Always a good reminder. And that's both career-wise and in your life. I can be whatever I choose to be. Just remind yourself of that. It's really powerful. And lastly, one of my favorite songs of this year, one of my absolute favorite jams, is Lizzo's song Juice. If you haven't heard it, trust me, I don't care if you shut down my page right now, go to YouTube, type in Lizzo, Lizzo. The song is called Juice, like orange juice. It is like this self-empowerment anthem that is my total jam. But there's this one lyric in her song that just I connect with so much. And she says, if I'm shining, everybody's gonna shine. And so that's the very last thing on my page is, if I'm shining, everyone's gonna shine. Such a good reminder. It just, every time I leave the house, I try to remind myself, if I'm shining, everybody's gonna shine. And it's just a great way of bringing your light to everyone. And especially if you're a light worker, it's just a great reminder of the light work that you're doing. So that's it. That was my card. That's everything on it. And of course, you can always add to it and subtract from it and do whatever you need. But I think by making this kind of a regular part of your practice and actually taking time and meditating on these things, and certainly my list is fairly long. I think I haven't counted, but I probably have 20 I ams on here. And, of course, you may not make that all one meditation, because that could easily take you 20 minutes or half an hour. But you know what? You can sit down 5 minutes at some point during the day and just do 5 of those things. Or, just pick the ones that you really want to connect with today, or that you think that you really need to work on developing today. And certainly if you do that, and if you do these affirmations on a regular basis, trust me, it will make you feel so much better, and it will help you get unstuck from wherever you are right now. Like I said, I created this channel to help people who are kind of down here in the muck. I kind of want to help people who are down here in the muck, down in the swamp. I want to help lift you up through whatever means I can. So this is one of the ways that I've done it for myself, and I think it may well work for you. So I'm going to leave it there today. Once again, please like my channel. I have a great Facebook page. I'm updating it on a regular basis now. I literally just got internet in my house today, so I'll be able to interact a little bit more. And of course, feel free, reach out, let me know what you need. But anyway, this is DJ Gallup, Courageous Consciousness, signing out today. Have a great one.